Hello everyone, welcome back to your fairly infrequent but always unhinged dose of X-Men content. I hope you're excited today because I'll be designing my favourite speedster Quicksilver in the 97 style, as well as a couple different possibilities of where the series could take him. For a little bit of context for those who don't know, Quicksilver cameoed many times in the original animated X-Men series and starred as one of the main characters of Family Ties. This was the episode where Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch discovered their father was Magneto, which has not helped my obsession of these morons in the slightest. Anyway, since X-Men 97 is a continuation of the original series, there's actually a chance that Quicksilver might appear in the new show. In fact, it's already happened, at least in this fun little reference to the original X-Factor team in episode 4. As much as seeing this made me scream with excitement though, I would be lying if I said I'm not still hoping for a full appearance in the future of the series. But what would that look like? Well, that's what I'm here to explore. So, starting off with a classic, I'll be drawing Quicksilver's iconic blue suit as seen in both 92 and the photo in 97. This suit is based off his earlier comic designs, and I love it to bits. It's just so dorky, with his silly little lightning belt and sash, and his strangely wide cut collar. I started this process by studying the key features and forms of Quicksilver in the animated series, as this variant will be the same one we would see in 97 if he ever appeared. Easily his most recognisable feature is the two wisps of hair at the front of his face. They have a very distinctive shape and have stuck through most of his designs for decades. Outside of that, 92 Quicksilver also has thick pointed eyebrows, a sharp nose, and visible cheekbones. It's worth mentioning that 92 always attempted to be as accurate as possible to the comic designs, so this variant of Pietro has a very muscular build and similar facial and body structure to other males in the series. The style of 97 keeps the heart of everything seen in 92, which means characters are drawn with straight bold lines and almost no tapering. The hair in 97 is probably one of the biggest changes, with them switching to sections of hair instead of the connected and open style that 92 used to have. This was most likely to make it easier on the animators and make it more consistent in the long run. Keeping in line with this style, I separated Pietro's hair into distinct shapes, but still tried to keep the silhouette of his old design. While I mostly drew from his 92 suit, I also added the black underwear seen in the photograph from 97, as I felt it balanced out his colours a little bit more. I pulled all his colours from the original series, and I know it's only a quick 2-second reference, but why is Pietro so pasty in the 97 photo compared to 92? Like bro, get outside, your vitamin D is lacking. After colours, I moved on to shading. Both 92 and 97 use a combination of soft and solid black shading, though 97 uses it far more minimally, with it usually appearing just underneath the chin, whereas 92 lent closer to the style of the comics. As I'm not as familiar with solid shading or anatomy for that matter, I gave it a shot, but obviously it's nowhere near to the same level that a comic may have. However, it does show how much of a difference shading styles can make, especially once I compare it to the 97 style. 97 has absolutely stunning lighting and effects, and I attempted to simulate this by using a second level of soft shading and lighting. And here are the results! On the left, we have Quicksilver in the 92 shading, and on the right, we have him in the 97 shading. I had a lot of fun with this one, but next I want to try something a little different. The state of X-Factor is unknown at the time of 97. Forge appears to be on his own, and multiple men can be seen at the gala in episode 5, which suggests to me that the team as we know them may not be together anymore. However, that leads me to think of the comic All New X-Factor, where Polaris leads a new team which includes her brother Quicksilver as part of the roster. For once, Quicksilver finally shows the team's spirit and wears an X-Factor uniform. The suit is yellow, grey and black, and has these fun little circles on his elbows and knees that glow and create lightning trails when he runs in super speed. Some key features of this design are that Pietro's suit covers the sides of his cheeks and the back of his head. He also has a leaner body, though sometimes they draw him like an actual twig. Like I swear I didn't squish this image, that's just straight up how he looked in the comic. And last but not least, we have his iconic hair, which is now more windswept and wispier. I wanted to play into his more arrogant and playful nature in this version's pose, as well as showing him in motion of sorts. It was important to me to keep his two wisps recognisable, but also add the more chaotic strands that meet together at a point like the comic. In All New X-Factor, the original symbol on the chest was for Serval Industries, the company they worked for, so I changed it to the original X-Factor symbol. Though I think it's unlikely we'll ever see X-Factor in a big capacity in 97, I like the idea that Forge passed down leadership to Polaris when he left. It was always so much fun when we got to see glimpses of other teams in the old series, especially during big events like Asteroid M or the Season 4 finale, so I've got my fingers crossed they might add more moments like that into 97. Much like the first version, I pulled all the suit colours straight from the comics, but kept his skin and hair the same as my 92 version to keep it consistent. I also kept the spiky eyebrows because they're the most lightning themed aspect of this design. Also, they're kind of funky, and I love that. Comics often have much more freedom to focus on lighting and effects over their animated counterparts, which means they're visually stunning, but also rather complex. Instead of trying to replicate that style of shading, I decided to keep it consistent with my previous design and use a hard edge shading with soft lighting and shadows added over top. And here he is, the all new Quicksilver. After all, if Magneto can get a new suit, why can't his son? And for my last piece, I thought I'd go a completely different route altogether and draw Quicksilver from the Magneto Rex comics. Magneto Rex is a 3-part series about Magneto taking over Genosha during a civil war, which was a plot that seemed like a possibility for 97 before episode 5 came in and ruined my dreams. But we're not here to talk about the trauma that 97 has inflicted on me, we're here to talk about the future of Quicksilver. Pietro plays a big part in these comics, initially coming to try and end his father's reign, and ultimately staying at his side to act as his counterbalance and ensure humans aren't being mistreated on the island. It's such a fun idea, just as a plot and for their dynamic as a whole, and I think my heart would give out if I ever saw it adapted to the screen. For now though, a drawing will have to do. So, breaking down the key features again, you'll see that Quicksilver's hair in this variant is much looser and has multiple front wisps instead of his regular 2. As well as a shorter cut at the back of his neck. His suit is relatively simple like his original one, but he now has cuffs on his gloves and boots. Which, don't get me wrong, I love this man. But what on earth are these clown shoes? Something about them is just particularly dorky, which is definitely in character, so I guess I can't complain that much. For this pose, I aimed to show Pietro in a more serious, battle-ready stance. Being the son of Magneto is a heavy burden to carry after all. As with his previous designs, the spiky eyebrows are carried over, and more wisps have been added to his hair in distinct segments. Now, Pietro's shoes and gloves are actually the same colour as his suit in the comic, but I darkened them to make it more distinguishable, and for my own sanity. For lighting this time, I decided to go with a backlit scene, showing how this Quicksilver's life is shadowed by the responsibility he has to bear. I also used purple lighting to represent Magneto's influence in his life, as well as added some strands of white to his silver hair to match his father, because I'm physically incapable of talking about either of these two idiots without mentioning the other supposedly. After that, I added a few streaks of white hair to the other two designs, and went through to add the lightning bolts to the all-new X-Factor Quicksilver. The cloud of dust at his feet was the very last touch to truly sell his speed. And finally, we have our finished Quicksilvers. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my process and hearing me ramble about all these different designs. While I don't think we'll be lucky enough to see Quicksilver in 97, let alone one of his alternate suits, it's been so much fun getting to bring this idea to life. And who knows, Quicksilver has had many outfits across the years. Maybe I'll just have to make a part 2 until Marvel gets their act together at least. If you liked this video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future designs. And if there are any other Quicksilver suits you'd like to see in the 97 style, let me know in the comments below and I might just draw it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.